Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Saturday morning. Go Dogs. Good luck to whoever you root for if you are into college football. If you're not, I get it. The Dogs play Auburn this afternoon, 3:30 game Eastern Standard Time. I know we have some Auburn fans on the channel here, so good luck and good luck to whoever your team is. It is share. I'm going to ask, share what you're doing today, what your plans are. It's beautiful here so far. It is 8:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as I'm recording this right now. And I'm looking at the sun already coming out. The temperatures are really kind of cool right now. It's supposed to get up to 84. It's been getting up into the mid 80s here. I'm ready for fall to come in, like not just in the morning, but during the day because it got hot yesterday. It looks like it's going to get hot again today in Georgia. But share what you're going to do for today or even this weekend. You know, it doesn't have to be preparedness related. Just what you're planning to do. If it's just to go take a road trip, relax, catch up on sleep, can something, whatever it is. Hey, let us know. I know today we are going to go down to my parents' house, and it's about an hour and a half drive. So we're going to go down there and see what we can do to help them out. Quick update on that. My mom has bounced back a bit. She's been doing okay lately. My dad is still struggling. So appreciate any prayers there on that. Thank you. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button. It helps us out. And if you haven't yet subscribed, consider subscribing. I really do appreciate it. The big items right now in the news and what people are talking about, two things I'm hearing a lot about. The shutdown, the likely, it looks likely now, the federal government shutdown, and people are freaking out a little bit about that. And what they're really losing their minds on right now is this October 4th coming up, this nationwide emergency broadcast test, or whatever this is. Now, I'll be honest, I have not looked deeply into this. I know we've had similar tests in the past, and it went, and everything, everything was fine. But a lot of people are really concerned about this one. I'm going to do a little more looking at that, and then I'm going to do a video on October 4th, probably in my next video, probably tomorrow or the next day, probably tomorrow. All right. Speaking of October, beginning of October, I saw where October 3rd, Russia is going to do a nationwide drill, and the scenario will be a nuclear attack from the West, from Europe or the United States or both. Thought that was very interesting that they made that news to get that out there so we all know. So very interesting how they use information, disinformation, propaganda. Of course, we do it too. All governments do, really, to a point at least. Other interesting little tidbit is RFK, Robert F. Kennedy. I saw yesterday where looks like he's going to decide to run for president as an independent. I know he tried to run as a Democrat, and of course they don't want him because at times he makes a lot of sense. He does. He makes a lot of sense. I mean, he's a Democrat, and I tell you, when he's speaking, I listen. I want to know what the guy has to say, and what he thinks about a lot of issues. And I have to say, I don't agree with everything, of course, but I agree with a lot of what he's saying. So that means, of course, the Democratic Party does not want him. So it looks like he's going to run an independent, and that would be interesting if he gets in it like that and is on the ballots. So it may not even matter. I'm trying not to be pessimistic. I'm trying, y'all. Okay. All right. The shutdown. People are like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? So it looks like it's likely now. I mean, it's Saturday as I record this. It's Saturday morning, and if they don't come up with a deal to continue funding for the federal government, it will shut down. It looks like, I guess tomorrow, 12 a.m. Sunday, October 1st. Now, yesterday, it looks like some Republicans and some Democrats voted down a bill that was trying to get pushed through by the Speaker, Mr. McCarthy, and it failed. So, federal funding expires end of the day, September 30th. That's today. Like I said, if there's no deal, you'll see at least a partial shutdown, then that will force federal functions deemed non-essential to stop. Now, what does that mean? I've been looking into it because there's a lot of confusion. A lot of people are saying, well, gosh, Social Security is not going to be paid and everything's going to fall apart within an hour. I mean, not exactly. I was looking more into it. And from what I can understand, I'm going to try to convey this information, okay, the best that I can. So unless they work out a deal, I guess today, we will see a shutdown. So I know yesterday I did read where the United States government notified all federal employees that a shutdown does appear imminent. Millions of employees, federal employees, and military service members, that includes them, may stop receiving pay here. Now, active military, from what I've gathered here, active military personnel and air traffic controllers will continue to work. They won't get paid during the shutdown, but will get their back pay once the shutdown is over. Also, Social Security, from what I'm reading, Social Security payments will go out like always. But then I read something else where it said the shutdown could spark some chaos with Social Security payments. Now, it's not supposed to affect Social Security payments, but with so many federal employees being furloughed, you could have some delay. It's possible, I've heard, that you could see some delays in Social Security payments. I don't know if that's for sure, but there is a little bit of a gray there in that, and what I've been researching. If you're an expert on this, because I'm not an expert on this, if you're an expert on this, if you're in the know, please share in the comments. We would appreciate it. If I'm wrong, please correct me. All right. Some other things about a shutdown. Congress still gets paid. Well, of course they do. I mean, is that a shock? No. Also, funding for the the billions of dollars that we're sending overseas to Ukraine would not stop. They're exempt from that. What's that emoji? You know, I mean, so Congress still gets paid. We would still send money overseas, which is insane. It's insane, uh, but active duty military and all these millions of federal government employees would not get paid. Also, border security would not be paid during, at least during the shutdown. They would get their back pay too, just like other personnel. But that's 20,000, at least 20,000 border security personnel that would get no pay. So we already have a major catastrophe crisis going on at the border that would exacerbate, that would make that worse, that situation worse. So just to recap, Congress would still get paid. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. In fact, they should be like part-time employees, in my opinion. I mean, what do they really do? Take all these breaks anyway? I mean, good grief. All right. So Congress still gets paid. We still send money overseas, but military people are not paid. Air traffic control get paid, but the trainings would stop, at least during the shutdown. And border security wouldn't get paid. As usual, makes no sense. Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts on that. It's maddening. It really is. I mean, it seems like at every turn, every decision, in the planning and everything, it's all weighted to take down the people, the folks, the citizenry. Okay. The federal government's number one purpose should be national security. That's the number one thing. If nothing else, that's really all it should be. National security. Most everything else can be done at the state level, local levels. I mean, but of course it's not like that. Over the years, it's just become a corrupted mess. And it seems like at every, no matter what institution, no matter what uh, all areas of our lives and livelihood, it's to our detriment, to the people's detriment. Even though you're doing, and especially if you're doing things the right way, if you're trying to work, pay taxes, take care of your family, do the right thing, go to school, go take care of business and do it lawfully, legally. It's like it's like you're penalized. It's like, let's see what else we can do to push you down and stop you from that. At least that's the way, that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. It ain't the way it seems. That's the way it is. The way it is. Okay. I'm getting ranty. I'm getting on a rant. So I have, deep breath. I have a really good passage I'm going to share from the devotional book. This is Ms. Dawg's devotional book, just in case. They used to call this God posts, but they call it, this is what it's called right now, in case you want to look at that. But anyway, verse was really good in here for today. It is, from Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 and 2 says, "Let us strip off every weight that slows us down. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith." Amen. And then towards the end of it, down at the bottom, it has a little prayer that says, "Lord, it is so easy to lose sight of you and all of life's distractions." Sure, we got a lot of distractions, don't we? "You are who we hear when we turn down the noise. Keep us always tuned in to you." And many of you, I know, make comments every video, say, "Stay close to Jesus." And isn't that the truth? I can't emphasize that enough, especially these days, the days we are living in right now. And share your thoughts on that. Stay close to him. Let's stay in prayer and keep in the word. All right. But let's be aware. Let's be safe out there today. And then let's be aware. God bless you. See you soon.